and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. It's time!
Your time is up, my time is now. You can't see me, my time is now. It's the franchise where I'm shining now. You can't see me, my time is now. In case you forgot or fell off, I'm still hot, knock your shell off. My money stacked fat, plus I can't turn the swell off. The franchise doing big business, I live this, it's automatic. I win this, so you hear those horns, you finish. And I stay under you fighting, plus I'm storming on you chumps like I'm thunder and lightning. Ain't no way you breaking me, kid, I'm harder than nails. Plus I keep it on lock like I'm part of the jail. I'm slaughtering stale competition. I got the whole block wishing they could run with my division, but they gone fishing with no bait. Kid, your boy hold weight. I got my soul straight. I brush your mouth like Colgate. In any weather, I'm never better. Your boy's so hot, you never catch me in the next man's sweater. If they hate, let them hate. I drop your whole clan. Lay your ass down for the 3-second tan. Your time is up, my time is now. You can't see me, my time is now. It's the franchise where I'm shining now. You can't see me, my time is now.
Let's go, baby. Everyone, my goodness. Welcome back to Thirsty Thursday. Oh, that feels good. Let's go. I need an audio check. You guys know it's been a while since I've been live here on Thirsty Thursday. Can I get a quick audio check? I feel like the music's a little too loud. Let's adjust that. We're back, baby. We're back. Hopefully we're back for good, honestly. We're rocking and rolling over here. We'll get into single parenting and all that a little bit later, but we're going to focus on you guys for now on. We got 20 seconds left in the level 2 hype train. I am drinking. Who was that? Our Danger's back, baby. Oh, man, I missed Our Danger. Let's go. Audio is fine. That's what I like to see. Thank you guys very much for the early support, all the new follows, all the resubs and everything. We're just gonna pick up right where we left off, man. We're not doing anything crazy today, okay? We're building a budget gaming PC. We're drinking beer. We're listening to some good tunes. You know, this is just what we do. Now, the one thing I am gonna try and do, I've said this at least 17 different times already, though. I think I'm actually going to try to not make this build take 3 hours. Okay, we're actually gonna try to build this relatively efficiently, although we do have, now that I say that, we have a ton of things to talk about, so that's probably not going to happen. But welcome back to Thirsty Thursday, guys. Thank you guys very much for being here. I'm going to give a little bit of a disclaimer, though. It's been way too long, hell yeah. What's up, Fire Medic? How you doing, man? This is for Our Danger, by the way. I got you. Oh, wow, that's actually not that bad. So I bought a 30-pack of hazy IPA, like random hazy IPAs. And this one from Fancy Paper, Cigar City Brewing. It was absolutely terrible the first time I tasted it. And out of the whole 30-pack, there's only 2 of these left. I thought I was going to throw them away, but since I'm doing Thirsty Thursday, I'm like, I might as well save them. I don't want to waste them. But no, it's actually not too bad. It's not too bad. If you guys are new here, here's what we do. You go over to the ! Discord server, hop in the general chat, and post an aesthetic photo of what you're sipping on. It doesn't have to be Cigar City. It doesn't have to be a beer. If you're sipping on some chocolate milk, that is perfectly fine. I just want to make sure that you guys are properly hydrated and ready to go for Thirsty Thursday. But let's go over this long list of people who are ready for Thirsty Thursday. Mark is the first person back in the Fitty Bitty Committee. Welcome back to the committee, Mark. Thank you very much. Mark also with the Tier 2 resub for 28 months now. He says, about to be 29. Let's go. Thank you very much, Mark. Jonathan Talks Hardware with the Tier 1 resub come back for 5 months in a row. He says, let's effing go. Zeno, same deal, back for 11 months. Says, getting close to that 1-year badge. Almost at the full color ZTT badge. Thank you very much. We got Go. How do I say that? Go Suna Metal? Go Suna Metal. That doesn't sound right. Am I reading that? Am I wasted already? Go Suna Metal? No, that can't be right. wow, I think it is Go Soon and Metal. Either way, coming back for the second month now. Says, hey, yo, thank you very much for the resub. Andy Kane with the Twitch Prime sub, come back for 10 months in a row, says, we back, boys. That's exactly how I feel. Like, it's not just like, I honestly don't feel at all that ZTT is back. It's just, we're back. You know, our Thursdays are back. You know, this is a collective effort here. I just happen to be the host. But yeah, I honestly don't feel like this is about me at all. I'm glad that we're all hanging out. We're building PCs together. We're drinking beers together. And this is just this is a team comeback. That's where we're at. Shauner's also in the Fitted Beta committee. Says, are the renovations to the Fitted Beta committee lounge done yet? It's been like 4 years. Well, so here's the thing. We've never done renovations in the Fitted Bitty Committee Lounge. So if you see like construction workers and whatnot, those are people just trying to get in for free. So please go kick them out. We have no renovations scheduled, planned, nothing. So be wary of them. You can't just walk in with a badge and a hard hat and get in for free. Well, although those people did. But yeah, stop them, please. Fire Medic with the 200 biddies says, it's been way too long. Oh, I already read that one. Thank you for the 200 biddies, man. Zen Buddha with the Twitch Prime sub. Thank you very much. First ever month. Let's go. Pantera also in the Fitty Bitty Committee Lounge. Says, have you seen the NAS I posted in the exclusive, Zach? Yeah, I saw it the first time you posted it. And then I saw it the second time you posted it when you said, hey guys, did you see that I posted this? A day later. And now, yes, this is the third time that I'm hearing about your we got it. It looks good, man. Nice work. We all saw it though. Relax. What mic and headphone is ZTT using? This is the Corsair HS80. Corsair has sent me now, oh my God, 10, maybe 11. Let's count actually. So they initially sent me 2 of them, or actually they initially sent me 1, and I instantly dubbed it my legitimate favorite headset that I've ever used before. And I've been sent at least 50 headsets at this point, okay? This is easily my favorite. I asked Corsair to send me another one because I wanted one for both here in the office and in the studio. Then I got 6 of them for my mods for Christmas. That was one of their Christmas gifts. Shauner's broke, so that's 9. So Shauner's ear cup, which is a detachable item on the HS80, broke. And I asked my rep, I was like, is there any way you could just like send me an ear cup? So he sent me a whole nother HS80. So that's 9. And then they just sent me another one for a different video that I'm working on. I don't know if he forgot that he already sent 9 of them, but Corsair has sent me 10 of these mofos. That is wild. But yeah, Corsair HS80, love it. Zach, what's the cheapest PC you can build for Fortnite and Warzone? It depends on what your settings are. Like if you can run, if you're okay running 720p 30 FPS, that budget can be pretty low. It all depends on what your tolerance is. You can 100% play Warzone with a $200 PC. Is the FPS going to be good? Not great. Not great. Shauner says I got 2 of them. But yeah, so if you guys type in !build, you can see what we're building today. This is just a normal flip that'll get posted on the website. If you guys haven't seen a couple of my announcements, the next launch is not going to be November 1st because A, we don't have enough builds, and B, I want to have a lot of builds for Black Friday. So even if we had a few, I wouldn't do it just because I want the Black Friday launch. Last year, I think for Black Friday, I posted like 11, 12, 13 different builds on Black Friday. Of course, they all sold out that very same day, obnoxiously priced. If you're waiting for one of my PCs, pre-built gaming PCs, wait for Black Friday because that is going to be the day that all of these PCs for the last couple of months have launched. So there's your reminder on that. You can type in !build to see the full parts list. I did want to give a quick shout out to the high amount of people who didn't actually cancel their sub during this 1 month, or like 6 weeks actually, this 6-week break that I took from Twitch. So shout out to you guys. Very much appreciated. Yo, Zach, can you do a special video on November 2nd? It's my birthday. What day is November 2nd? Yeah, we're going to be releasing a video on November 2nd. I got you. Every Wednesday. What's going to be the cheapest PC on Black Friday? Good question. Definitely less than 500, but I don't think we're going to have any very, very cheap builds for Black Friday because I don't think I'm building any. Maybe. I doubt it. maybe. There'll probably be a couple under 500, but there's not. I don't. Right as of right now, we're not gonna have any like $100 or $200 builds. But what I should start telling you guys now is we're also going to be selling a ton of peripherals on Black Friday. So I get sent so many 10 HS80s, for example. I get sent so many different peripherals from the companies over the years, and I have, other than like a couple giveaways here and there, I've literally never gotten rid of them. Like once I use them in the video, unless if we're using it in the studio or I'm using it at home, they just sit in the box for the last like 3 or 4 years. So Black Friday, we're getting rid of hopefully all of them. And what we're doing is, so these are very, very slightly used. Like most of them have been used for just a couple of hours, and that's it. I told Sam to put the price at 30% of whatever the new price is. So if we have a $100 pair of headset, or like a gaming headset that costs $100, it's going to be $30 on the website. Not 30% off. It's going to be 30% of the normal price. So hopefully we can just get rid of all the peripherals. So if you are in need of mouse, keyboard, I don't think we're gonna have any monitors, but mice, keyboard, headsets, and whatnot, Black Friday will definitely be the spot for that as well. Drabo with the tier 1 resale, come back for 21 months in a row. Says been a very, very long time. We're just catching up now, man. We're catching up. Thank you very much for the resale. Much appreciated. I may be snagging something. Yeah, for sure. We have like, I don't know how many items, maybe like 30 items already on the site. Not public, but they're already like preloaded onto the site for Black Friday. We're trying to not wait for the last second. But yeah, remember the $160 PC you built? The stuff in the motherboard CPU were broken. Then I bought another one and it didn't work. Wait, what? Remember the 160 PC you built? Oh, you tried to copy the build guide? The motherboard and the CPU were broken. Then I bought another one and it didn't work. Sounds like user error. If you bought 2 sets of motherboards and CPUs that were broken, you could be unlucky. But with my experience, oftentimes I've seen that you're doing something wrong. I would double check your work on that one. But yeah, so I wanted to announce that we're good to go. If you guys are interested in Call of Duty benchmarks, we're doing an emergency upload early next week for Modern Warfare 2, which just came out today or yesterday. What day is it? Came out yesterday, I think, or 2 days ago. I forget. But we're going to be benchmarking Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 with budget graphics cards, and then we're also going to be benchmarking Warzone 2.0 with budget graphics cards. And I actually got to take out this GTX 1080 because that's going to be one of the cards. So at the end of this live stream, if we have enough time, and if my the little man is still sleeping, we're going to swap out that graphics card tonight as well. We got that. Brett's Cannonball live stream is tomorrow. That's another one of the announcements. How many of you guys are already up to speed on Brett's Cannonball live stream that starts tomorrow? How many people? Type a 1 in chat if you're up to speed. Type a 2 if you have no idea what I'm talking about. Do you even lift, bro? I've been lifting, man. Do I look small? Do I look small over here? Can you restock this one? We've literally never restocked a PC before. Everything that's ever been sold on the website. Oh, wow, a lot of 2s. Okay, we'll talk about that in just a second. You look swole. Thanks, man. I actually, over the last... Oh, my God. Now, I got 3 things to talk about. Thanks, Mark. The first thing, let's talk about being swole. I don't know if you're trolling, but out of the last 6 weeks, the only thing that I didn't stop doing was lifting. I managed to not skip any lifting days. The nutrition's been a little hit or miss. I stopped drinking. During the first week or 2 of being a single dad, I thought I could continue my I drink 1 or 2 beers about 1 or 2 times a week. That's been my average for the last 4 or 5 years. 1 to 2 beers once or twice a week. And ever since my wife moved down to Baltimore for the 6-month work thing, I can't drink anymore. This is my first beer, other than Brett came over last week and I had a couple beers with him. But before that, this is only the second time I'm drinking in the last month. Just because even 2 beers like, it messes with your sleep. You don't get like a full night's rest after you've been drinking, even if it's just a little bit. I personally still wake up hungover, even after 2 beers, not like dead hungover, but like with a headache, tired, groggy and whatnot. And being a temporary single dad right now, I cannot drink. So yeah, I've been laying off that. And then, yeah, the nutrition's been kind of hit or miss. So I actually, for fitness wise, the last 6 months or 6 weeks have actually been pretty good. All right. What was the other thing I was supposed to talk about? Oh, the restockable builds. So yeah, we've never restocked a build before. However, I don't know if anyone saw on the website, I posted an update to this, and I posted on Twitter, I think, and on YouTube actually, that we are experimenting right now. We're building restockable builds. So we're still going to do our monthly launch where all of those builds that are at obnoxious prices, they're going to continue to be one-of-one limited drops, and they are going to absolutely trump the value of repeatable builds, because the one-of-one builds that I sell, I technically, like, if you just look at the parts list, I'm losing money every single time. Like, that's not sustainable. The only reason I can do it now is because I made much more money than the build through like YouTube sponsorships, the Twitch streams, whatever, other social media, whatever. I already made my money for those builds. That's why I can sell them at a loss. But I can't sell 2 builds at a loss. That just doesn't work. So we are going to make restockable builds, which again, the value is definitely not going to be as good, but I'm still going to try to deliver actual good pre-built value for you guys, where it's still going to be worth it, like over competitors and whatnot. And of course, the aesthetics are going to be tip-top shape. So I'm going to try to keep those in stock throughout, like at all times. And like during the monthly launch, you definitely should not buy, like we're just being honest here. You definitely should not buy the restockable builds compared to the one-of-one limited drops. But if it's like the middle of the month, of course, the one-of-one drops are already gone. That would be a good time if you don't want to wait till the next month, because like the monthly launches, they're just selling out super quickly. And if you don't want to like take a stab at it, then we're going to have extra options available. So be on the lookout for that. The first PC, I can tell you, is going to come in at $800. So we're not like jumping in with like $1,500 gaming PCs. The first one is going to be $800 plus shipping. So that's going to be, if you're in the market for that, then be on the lookout for that. Those should go live before Black Friday. So if you don't want to wait, if you don't want to compete against everyone else trying to snag a build on Black Friday, then the $800 builds are going to be the first restockable ones. All right, Zeno with the shout out says, "Hey Zach, I'm wondering what you use to make your website. I'm looking to expand my PC business to custom commissions online and to ship them throughout the US. I use Wix. I've given a very, very fair shot to both Wix and Squarespace, because everyone says Squarespace is better, and Shopify. I think I did the Shopify integration with Squarespace. Wix is definitely better. Now, Squarespace is better if you want to throw a couple paragraphs into some templates, then Squarespace is actually better because their preloaded templates are like ready to go. But if you want to do any sort of custom work, not like custom HTML work, but just like custom placing things and like having like a little bit of a customized layout, I didn't really like Squarespace. I thought Squarespace was a little bit too streamlined for me, so that's why I switched to Wix. And Wix does almost everything I need. Painful with the tier 2 resub, come back for 21 months in a row for 21 total. Says 21 months, about to be 22. P.S. No missed months. You'll love to see it. Painful, welcome back Thursday. Let's go. When you sell the PCs on your website, does it come with the glass? Yeah. Yeah, they always come with the tempered glass, for sure. We just never take any pictures of them, because you should never take a picture with the tempered glass just because the reflections are awful. Oh, Easy Plays with the Twitch Prime sub. Come back for 11 months in a row. Sorry, I missed that. He says, "We back." Thank you very much, Easy Plays. Much appreciated. Painful, I also missed your Fitbit. He says, "You still stream?" I still stream, man. We're back. Read the graffiti PC. We're back. We're back. The most I can spend is like $600. Yeah, we're definitely going to have multiple $600-ish builds on Black Friday, if you can wait that long. If you guys wanted to buy we're going to start building this PC real quick. If you guys wanted to buy a restockable build from me, what would your price point that you would be most interested in? Okay, now remember, these are not going to be the obnoxiously valued one-of-one limited drops that sell out. These are going to be the restockable ones where I make a profit, aka the price is going to be higher than the parts list. I know it's kind of a weird concept, especially on my website, but on the builds that I can possibly make a profit on, what would be the price range you'd be interested in the most? Shauna with tier 1 resub. Come back. How are you just now resubbing, Shauna? I thought you already did that. For 25 months, says painful emotes when? That's a great question, man. That is a great question. I have no idea. He's slacking. We might need to fire him at this point. We still need to do drinks. Did people post them in general? I forgot to check. Oh, wow. We got some drink photos in here. All right. We're going to do this, and then we're going to build the PC, I promise. Let's go. So if you guys are new, go to ! Discord. Go to the general chat. And we're going to check out what everyone else is sipping on, and then we're going to start building. All right, here we go. Start from the top. Hardware. Ooh. Hardware, of course. He's got his super. That's going to win the competition. That's going to win right off the bat. That's as aesthetic as an aesthetic photo gets. You'll love to see it. Nice work. Jonathan says stay hydrated with his Kmart purified water. Not too bad. Zeno says gamer sups cotton candy. Don't ask. I kind of do want to ask. That's kind of a... What are you drinking Gamer Subs for? It's 9 p.m. What are you doing over there? Mark, of course, he's got his cup of coffee. He also has his Welcome to Scalper City. Oh, from LTT. What is this? I don't know what that is. Is that just a picture? I don't know what that is. Mark, you got to wash that. You got to wash this cup at some point, man. Okay, you got coffee stains all over it. Shauna says, traded a guy a 6-pack for these. Palisade peach wheat Palisade I don't know how to say that. A wheat beer. Okay, give us your right. Ooh, commenter coming in hot with the DQ Blizzard. Okay, sorry hardware, I think this one might win. Wait, this isn't legit. This has a watermark on it. There's no way that this is legit. There's no way that he already set up a watermark that quickly. No way. That cannot be a live photo. Nope, I'm not buying it, commenter. You're disqualified. KX Dur got some Gatorade and some Aquafina, staying hydrated there. And then Galaxy, no small hands this time, but of course got the water on deck. Very nice. All right, so I'm not sipping alone. Thanks, guys. That's called drinking with a bouncing child on your lap. Yeah, true. I'll let that one slide. Copywriting photos in general, that's messed up, man. I'd say the Palisade, am I saying that right? Palisade Peach Wheat is like a 7.5 out of 10. This is like it's actually way better than what I thought it was going to be, but it's like a 6. It's not that great. It's not that great. Painful December says painful emotes are set to drop around the same time as sippin'. I was actually we're gonna build this PC again. Why does this happen? We're 30 minutes into it. I thought I was gonna be halfway done by now. I actually somebody caught me at a good time when we were talking about the new sippin' channel in the Discord server, and I'm officially against the idea. Now that doesn't mean it's 100% set in stone. But I'm officially against the idea because posting what you're sipping on is always, in my book, a good conversation piece. So, that's a great thing to talk about in the general chat. Or if Thursday Night Football is on, in the fantasy football chat. Or if it's just a random night and you're in the exclusives, aka Twitch sub or YouTube member. You post your drink photo there. I don't really want to pull all of that good conversation out into Sippin' Island. You know, we don't need to separate absolutely everything. So I'm going to veto it. I'm going to veto it for now. Now, we can have an official vote later if you guys want to. But as of right now, I don't like the Sippin' idea. Mark with the 10 says, don't forget you were talking about the cannonball. That was the third thing. Thank you. All right. So there was a lot of 2s that I didn't expect. Wow. Thank you. That was super clutch, Mark. There was 0 chance that I was going to come back to that. So thank you for the reminder. Brett, aka UFD Tech, aka he lives 5 minutes down the street, aka he's another PC building YouTuber and hot news guy. He is starting his Cannonball live stream tomorrow morning. He is driving from New York City to LA, and he's live streaming the whole thing. This is his second year doing it. He's trying to raise $250,000 for trying to cure his son's rare genetic disease, SYNGAP1. So, if you guys aren't following UFD Tech on Twitch or YouTube, I would highly recommend you do it. He also has over $20,000 worth of gaming PC prizes. So a lot of people are going to be winning really high-end gaming PCs, RTX 4090s, you name it, even a PS5. He's got all sorts of giveaways. So please, tomorrow, I'm going to be tuning in for the whole weekend, just like we did last year, and I'm really looking forward to it. He stops at all of like the Tesla superchargers to charge up his car, and then they do like some fun skits or contests or whatever. People are gonna like shave their heads, get tattoos, like face paint, eat disgusting food and whatnot. They do all sorts of stuff to raise money. Brett is the best in the game in the PC building world at raising money for charity. So yeah, make sure you go check that out. Just as a reminder, it starts tomorrow and it's gonna be running all weekend. I think he's aiming for like 60 hours or so. Yeah, for the giveaways, you need to watch on Twitch. So yeah, there's no point of watching on YouTube. Yep, thank you for linking Brett's Twitch, Shawner. Perfect. All right, there we go. There's our reminder. All right, let's build. Enough of Brett. Let's build a PC that's going to be sold on the website. So, I didn't buy this PC recently. This was purchased the very first Thirsty Thursday that I did not stream, so like 6 weeks ago. This was supposed to be for that. Okay, so this build has been sitting on the inventory shelf for almost 2 months now. So keep that in mind. I tried to calculate real quickly how much it costs today. It's around a $750 gaming PC. So for the CPU, we got an i5-10. Wow, this is very ironic, but we have an i5-10400F. Literally bought this from Brett, actually. I paid $60 from him. He had it posted for $70. So I did get a neighbor discount, and I didn't have to pay for shipping because he just brought it over. But 10400F, can't go wrong with that. We got 16 gigs of Ripjaw's RAM here. This was bought in, I don't know if you guys remember, the crazy $300 box of parts that I got. I never ended up using this red RAM just because it's kind of like a weird tint of red. But hopefully it matches our build today. We got your standard 512 gigabyte Team MP33 NVMe SSD. Cooling the 10400F, another standard 224 XT from ID Cooling. And then for the motherboard, we have the MSI Mag Z490 Gaming Plus. Now, disclaimer numero uno, you obviously don't need a Z490 with a 10400F. But if you know anything about buying used motherboards, Z490s specifically have been consistently, for ATX size, been cheaper. This is like the third time that I've done this on Thirsty Thursday, and I have to give this disclaimer every time. But for ATX size motherboards, Z490s have been cheaper or about the same price as like B460, and this one specifically is just all black. No design, nothing. It's just super clean, super minimal, and I've used this motherboard multiple times now. So I did not buy Z490 specifically for the 10400F. It was the cheapest ATX option available that actually looks aesthetic. So for the other parts, we have EVGA 750 GT. I've also said this a million times, but this is the last one. Okay, I actually found this below our inventory shelves. I bought 10 of these at one point. This is the very last one. I thought I used the last one multiple times. This one was literally under the inventory shelves. So that's why we have one more. Complete overkill for a build like this. You don't need 750 watts of power, but it costs $40, I think. $35 or $40. So that's why we're using it. For the graphics card, this is the Red Devil RX 6600 XT. Now, this is a tough card to work with. A lot of people think that the aesthetics of this card are good, but it's really not. It's actually not a great looking card. Like, kind of when you're holding it like this, it kind of looks cool. This is a red light that shines through here. It's kind of aggressive. It's interesting. But it's not a good-looking graphics card from the side because over half of the side profile width is unpainted heatsink, which you absolutely hate to see no matter what. It's got the weird 8+6 pin power supply cables, which means we're gonna have to do like custom cable combs and all that, and I hate when they do 8+6. That just throws everything off. And this isn't black. This is like a weird kind of gunmetal shiny color that doesn't really match with anything. So this is officially the build where I'm actually trying to get rid of this graphics card. It would be really tough to build. Look at that color. That's a very weird color. A lot of people think that this is a good looking graphics card, but it's not. Okay, I know you guys debate with me about the Gigabyte Eagle, but this one's the same thing. This is actually not a good looking graphics card, in my opinion. So we're just trying to get rid of it in today's build. And then for the cable extensions, we're going red. Now the red on this doesn't 100% match the red on the RAM, or frankly the red on the Red Devil. They're all different types of red, but hopefully it looks decent enough. Oh, and then the other RGB products, I was like, there's something else that's red. This is the Be Quiet Purebase 500 FX. Now, the Purebase 500 has been out for a very long time, as you guys know. This FX version comes with 4 pre-installed RGB fans, and then the original case also has always had these RGB strips going down the center. So that's a lot of RGB. So I'm hoping that this red kind of like counterbalances the little bit of inconsistencies in the rest of the red. So that's where my head is at aesthetically. But shout out to Be Quiet for sending this out. I'm really excited. I absolutely love when cases, whether they're micro ATX or ATX, come with 4 pre-installed RGB fans, including the rear exhaust fan, because I hate when they don't include that. So that's the parts list. Almost a blue hue. It's weird, man. It's weird. Painful Tempity says the gap is perfect to do the 8+8, unlike the EVGA card. No, but then it sticks out. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, you might be right. Let's take a look. So if we want to do our custom cable comb here, Painful is suggesting that instead of doing 8 over here and 6 over here, we actually just run up 8 and 8. And then for the 2 pins on this side that aren't being used, you kind of just hide them in this little gap here. And then the cable combs will hopefully keep that in place, so it actually looks a little bit more evened out. We might try that. We'll see. We'll see how the night goes. But yeah, that he's right. That is a good gap. That's a good gap. All right, so we're gonna start building here, ladies and gentlemen. This song is not on my playlist. Hopefully this isn't copyrighted. This is not on the playlist, man. What are we playing? Oh wow, it is on my playlist. Wait, is it? Yeah, wow, it is. Never heard of it before. I switched over. I tried to cancel. I got really motivated to cancel like a bunch of subscription services that we weren't using. And I had Spotify, which I literally never used except for the streams. And the only reason I had it was because I never wanted to manually move the custom Thirsty Thursday playlist from Spotify to like YouTube Music, which I have because I pay for YouTube Premium. But I finally bit the bullet. It's really ugly. I canceled $81 a month of subscriptions, and like literally my entire life doesn't change at all. $81 just from canceling things that I wasn't even using. It's so sad. It was so disgusting. I was like, oh my God, how many months have I paid this $81 for nothing? It's ridiculous. I didn't know you were speed running the build process. Yeah, I mean, we're going pretty quick over here. 41 minutes. Literally nothing has changed. I said at the beginning, like this is going to be the build that we actually go a little faster on. 41 minutes, nothing is unboxed yet. I literally can't go faster. I tried so many times. I just upgraded from a 1650 Super to a 6650 XT. Nice, that's solid. That's a good upgrade. That's pretty solid. All right, I need a knife. I didn't bring a knife down here. Oh my God, did I really not? No, I got one hidden here, away from the little man. Here we go. Oh, and we're also, for the first time ever, check this out. Ooh, how many people have? Does anybody have one of these? Does anybody have one? Oh boy, that's clean. Can you hear that? Does anybody here have one? I doubt I'm supposed to say, but I might have had a hookup on this one. I've never used it yet. I've never used it yet. Now, I legitimately really wanted one of these, but I was not going to pay the money for it. I thought it was a little high. It was a little high. ZTT screwdriver? Yeah, that's what this is. I'm using the WoW stick you sent. Nice. No, this is the LTT screwdriver that they designed for like 3 years. I think it cost $70. It's the most expensive screwdriver I've ever had in my life. I did not pay that though. I have the Cobalt version, $20. Yeah, I'm sure it's perfectly fine. I've been using non-$70 screwdrivers my entire life. Although, actually, when I was in the military working on aircraft, they exclusively bought Snap-on. So I have used good tools for a while, but I've never owned good tools. Yeah, $70 for a screwdriver. It's tough. Now, so hold on, let me give you the one thing I'm very confused about. So, it's way lighter weight than I thought it would. I would have expected a $70 screwdriver to be like heavy and sturdy. Now, this feels it doesn't feel like it's gonna break. It feels sturdy, but it's really light. I would have liked a little bit heavier of a screwdriver. The ratcheting is really satisfying. It's like it's the smoothest ratcheting I've ever felt in my life. Like you can feel every single click individually, but I don't know. There's something different about it. It feels really good. But the part that's confusing is when you pull out this area here, you can store some bits. You can store some bits here, but the plastic teeth that hold these bits. Let me get a little closer here. The plastic bits that the plastic teeth that hold the bits, they feel really cheap. Like they're gonna break. I was very surprised to see this. So I don't know if, I mean, time will tell. I'm probably not gonna be cycling through too many different bits up here, but it doesn't feel good up here. I was very surprised to see that. Like I would have liked to see metal up here or something other than plastic. So again, time will tell, but yeah, this is the LTT screwdriver. Who knows? How did Jay break his? What did he break about his LTT screwdriver? I saw the thumbnail of the video, but I never watched it. It was like a 20-minute video saying he broke a screwdriver. I'm like, dude, I ain't got time for that one. I'll watch your 4090 overclocking videos, but not. That one was a little much. Painful to Tempe says, you know it holds all 12 bits in there, not just 6? I thought I filled it up. Oh, I get it. Wow, that makes me even more nervous. No, I didn't notice that. That makes me even more nervous because that gives less support for each bit. Oh yeah, I was using both teeth. I was using two sets of teeth for one bit. No, I didn't know that. But yeah, that's even less support, man. It doesn't feel right. It feels awkward. Like like awkward is the perfect word of when I first opened this up, because I knew that this was a $70 screwdriver, and I'm like, why are there tiny plastic teeth in here. Like, that would not be my method of storing these for a $70 screwdriver. Drop. Oh, we dropped it and broke that plastic. Okay, yeah. There you go. Why would they do that? Oh, shoot. Okay, I didn't know that. Yeah, see, I would use both teeth. But yeah, that. Other than that, I still have yet to actually turn a screw with the screwdriver. We're about to do that here real soon. Yeah, those are my quick thoughts. Again, Cobalt, $20. Same storage. Dude, I'm not fighting you on the Cobalt, man. I'm not advocating for a $70 screwdriver. I just really wanted one because it's Linus and I want to see what $70 gets you, you know? I was just purely curious, but I was actually not going to pay for it myself. Got the hookup on that one. That's crazy that that's what he... Well, it's not crazy that that's what he broke, but that's funny that I just talked all about that and didn't know that that's what happened to him. Should have been closer to $30. Yeah, I mean, I paid 40 for this. This thing was 40. This entire kit was 40. And it actually has more functionality. It has way more bits than his does right out of the gate. And it has a I can angle it's ratcheting as well, but I can angle it 90 degrees, 45 degrees, or straight up 90 or straight up and down. And it came with 2 screwdrivers to use for all the bits. So a small screwdriver and a big screwdriver. This was 40. This is what I was using beforehand. So yeah, the value play is a little, but to be fair, I don't think anybody is buying Linus's screwdriver to get value out of it. I don't think that's what their target audience is. I had a kit of Cobalt screwdrivers in the past. None of them survived more than a year or two. Yikes. I don't know if I've ever had... Actually, I think I have a socket. A socket set that's Cobalt. I think it might be Cobalt. I can't remember. All right, and the other disclaimer that I think is important for you guys all to know is this is only... Check this out. Put the camera on me real quick. This is my second PC build in the last 6 weeks. 6 weeks. This is only the second PC build. That's crazy. Since I started making PC building videos, I have never gone anywhere close to that long with only building one PC. This is wild. I feel a little nervous, not gonna lie. Because before my wife left, we pre-shot like 3 or 4 weeks worth of videos, and we recently filmed a Flippin' Friday, and that was it. That was it. I haven't built many PCs during this little hiatus, but we're back. That's all that matters. Got the exact motherboard for $50. Unfortunately, it came with bent pins, and it was past the 3 days. Oh, yikes. Yeah, I did not check this one. Hopefully we're good. Hopefully we're good. That would suck. That would suck big time. I got this on Amazon Warehouse. Now, I'm not about to say what I was about to say because Amazon... Okay, hold on. Okay, we're good. Yeah, Amazon Warehouse doesn't fail me too much. I didn't want to say that before opening it up. But yeah, that sucks. How much quality time have you had with your son in those 6 weeks? Oh my God, too much, dude. So, Antonio goes to school now. The first 2 weeks that my wife left, Antonio wasn't even in school. They didn't start yet. Now he's in school 5 days a week. However, it's not what it sounds like. His 5 days a week looks like this. Monday and Friday, his days are 2.5 hours. Monday and Friday are 2.5 hours, which is obviously nothing. And Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, he's there for about 6 hours. That's considered a full day. So I'm still spending so much time with him right now, which is good. Like, I like spending time with him, but like, your boy needs a break. I mean, any toddler parent is the first screw ever with the LTT screwdriver. Not bad. Not bad. Feels like a screwdriver unscrewing a screw, to be honest. But yeah, not bad. There it is. Anyway, like toddlers, you don't just hang out with toddlers. A lot of it is like getting through tantrums, you know, or like them being bad, or them hitting, or throwing things, you know, or not eating, you know, and things like that. So like we've had a lot of really, really good moments. Like we went to the Steelers game a couple weeks ago. We're doing something every weekend. You know, we hang out every day, a lot. But every single day is tough. You know, everyone that's a toddler parent or was a toddler parent at one point knows what I'm talking about. So yeah, I'm happy for the quality time, but the quality time isn't the issue. You know what I mean? Hey Zach, what do you think of those 3D printed IO shields I sent you on Discord? I have no idea what you're talking about. Did I respond? 3D printed IO shields. Did I respond to that? I don't think I remember what you're talking about. Maybe I'm just forgetting, but you sure that was me? Little kids are very physically demanding. Hang in there. Yeah, I mean, he's physically demanding. It's more mental than anything, though. It's more mental. You know, when you're a parent of a toddler, your biggest asset when you have a spouse is before you melt down, you tag team out of there, you know, and your spouse comes in. I don't have that. So him and I have both been having temper tantrums. We both have been having meltdowns, to be honest. And like, there's no, like, it's like sad as it sounds. It's like, there's no help coming. Like if I'm having like a rough day or whatnot, like we have friends and whatnot who can like watch him and whatnot. But like realistically, I'm never going to like call one of our parent friends and be like, hey, I need a break. Can you come watch him? Like that's just not going to happen. You know, you got to take care of your kid. So yeah, I mean, it's been tough. It's been tough. I'm not going to lie. It has been better, which is why we're back to streaming. And that's more so, put the camera on me since I'm talking. That's more so been, like, I'm starting to get dialed in on this whole situation. Because, like, the first like, 4 weeks that my wife was gone, I was trying to work for ZTT every single waking second that I wasn't with Antonio. So, every time he napped, every time he was doing snack time, and then throughout the night, I was just trying to work as much as possible, and I killed myself. Like I really burnt myself out, and I don't burn myself out too often. It was very humbling. Like I was like really like not in a good place at all mentally. And then the last 2 weeks, I was like, I finally got my act together. I was like, okay, let's relax a little bit. You know, let's do some gaming. Let's watch some Game of Thrones. You know, let's actually make time for some things other than work. And the previous 2 weeks, I reverse burnt myself out, and I actually took too much time away from work, and I got miserable again because I was just like feeling lazy, like I wasn't getting anything accomplished. And I'm very, very, very fueled by getting things done. That's what keeps me going. So I think in the last week or two, I've finally dialed it in. So that's where we're at. So I'm feeling really good moving forward right now. You know, feeling good enough to live stream and all that. And I'm in a super motivated mindset right now, just because I've been gone for so long. You know, I want to work. You know, I want to work hard. I want to continue growing everything and whatnot. And we're in a good spot right now. We're in a good spot. Whereas your SO been? My wife is on a 6-month trip for work. And I have 2 kids. I have a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. She took the 1-year-old with her. And she works all day. And we have a nanny, or she has a nanny at her house watching the 1-year-old. And then we kept the 3-year-old up here with me. So she's gone for 6 months. And we're now I think we're on like week 6, somewhere around there of that. So we're both doing like single parenting, which sucks, but it's better than our original plan was to just have her go down there, and I was going to be with the 1 and the 3-year-old. Thank God we didn't do that. That would have, oh my God. Our Danger, I almost missed it with the 100 biddies. Thank you very much, sir. I'm drinking still. 5-time toddler parent. Know exactly what you're talking about, says D-Man. D-Man, welcome to Thirsty Thursday, by the way. It's rough. I'm not doing this 5 times. 2 and done for me. 2 and done. I'm done. Probably shouldn't publicly say that just in case if something happens, you know? But as of right now, 2 is the plan. All right, how do I do this? LGA 1200, where are we at? I've installed this cooler at least 17 times already, but I don't remember. All right, we got that. We need the spacers. Spacers in the bracket. Got it. Okay. How long were you in the military? 8 years. 8 years I was in the Air Force. Zombie with the tier 1 resub. Come back for 10 months in a row. Thank you. Or not in a row. 10 months total. Thank you very much, Zombie. Much appreciated. Creative name with the 10 biddy says, the white 224 XT is $27. That's a little $3 sale. That's not too bad. Painful at 10 biddy says, my wife has saved me so many times. That's the thing, man. Like, you know in the moment. Like, I'm not going to say that, like, people take it for granted. Like, when you have your significant other there, like, you don't really take it for granted. Like, you know when your significant other steps in that, like, they're saving the day. Like, you can feel that in the moment. Like, people aren't oblivious to that. But not having it is eye-opening. You know, just absolutely eye-opening for, you know, there's legit single parents out there. It's not that like saying I have a newfound respect for single parents is like the understatement of the year. Like, I literally can't comprehend it. Like, not even close. Like, how in the world does that even make sense? I don't get it. There's people like, I'm a temporary 6-month single dad. It's impossible to comprehend that people do that long term. Hey Zach, where can I get a $300 budget PC? Your only option is to build it yourself or get super lucky and buy one of mine, to be honest. No place is going to consistently sell worthwhile $300 gaming PCs. No way. Any plans on another PC part picker? So here's the thing. Oh, did I put the right spacer on there? No, I didn't. I don't know if it probably does matter. I gotta take those off. I think that's the wrong spacer. For those of you that aren't up to speed, we have run probably 20 PC part picker contests on the live streams in the last few years. Probably around 20 or so, maybe 15. And they've been really fun. And they just take the night of streaming, and we just pick a winner, and that's that. About like 2 or 3 weeks ago, I hosted a PC part picker contest in the Discord server, and I already judged it all. And the winner I'm building in a YouTube video, and in the YouTube video, like, I'm talking about some of the submissions, what I saw, like trends and funny things and obnoxious builds and things like that. And that video goes live next week. So the winner still doesn't know that they're the winner, which is really cool. But that video is going to be maybe the longest video in ZTT history, just because there's so much to talk about, like the rules and everything. But yeah, I am very, very excited for that. So if that video, like, if I can get that style of video to perform well for my channel, I 100% will do another one. Well, I'm definitely doing a second one regardless, because like one video isn't a big enough data set. Like if this video flops, I have enough skill to at least like make improvements and make it better. But if I can like make this a long-term type of series, that would be awesome. So I'm really looking forward to it. Hopefully it performs well for the quick like satisfaction of, I know we're gonna do a lot of these, but we're definitely gonna do at least one more. But yeah, we'll see how they do. It's very difficult. Like, I know like a lot of the exclusives are gonna watch that thing like from start to finish. They're not gonna skip anything. They're just gonna like grab a beer and just sit there the whole time and watch it. But I need to appeal to more than the hardcore ballers out there that aren't in the exclusives. I gotta appeal to the masses for videos like this to be worth it on the channel. So that's the challenge that I have to overcome to make this a successful series. So I'll be tweaking the formula and whatnot, and we'll definitely do at least one more, like I said. But yeah, next week, at the end of next week, I think it's gonna be a Friday video next week because of the last minute Call of Duty streams that we're doing, or Call of Duty benchmark videos. F the masses, please us. I would if I could get away with it, just for the record. Although you guys financially support me very well, I need the masses support. I need the masses support to feed the family, unfortunately. All right, so one other cool thing that we're doing today is, instead of the thermal paste wheel, we got some brand new thermal paste in the house. How many people have seen this before? This is from Corsair. This is called the XTM70 Extreme Performance Thermal Paste. They sent me 2 different packages, each with one of these in here. One got very damaged, and one is in tip-top shape. I don't know how that happened, and I don't know why he sent me 2. But here we are. We're going to use this thermal paste today, because although we're certainly not going to be like checking out the thermals and actual performance of the paste tonight, I at least want to be up to speed on what the feel is like, what the consistency is like. How many people even knew this was a thing? This is brand new. This is the most up-to-date on thermal paste I've ever been. Actually, I think Arctic sent me the MX5 as soon as it came out, so I take that back. Never mind. But yeah, I have no idea. I wouldn't have even known it came out unless if he sent this to me, or told me he was sending this. But here we go. This is the... Let's zoom this in real quick. Oh, that's as far as I can go. Sorry. But the wheel sniff. I know, I'm sorry. We'll add this to the wheel next time. But I really want to use this right now. Hold on. I need like a paper towel or something. I don't have paper towel. Don't follow thermal paste launches. Sorry. What are you doing with your life, man? You need to be 100% up to date on this stuff. Okay, here we go. So far the applicator feels like a thermal paste applicator. Okay, that's what we got going so far. All right. Oh my God! Hold on, hold the phone. Oh my God! I'm actually not trolling. Holy shit! That is wild. That was the most... I promise this isn't sponsored, and I'm not lying. That was the smoothest and most satisfying thermal paste ejection that I've ever done in my entire life. I stopped it halfway through. That was wild. That felt good. All right, let's see. That could have been just like the first little... I need more here. Let's see if it continues that feeling. That felt good, man. All right, here we go. Okay. So it feels good. Not as good as that initial little bit. So there was definitely like maybe some air bubbles in there, like sitting up on the edge or something that made that like so smoothly. It was okay. But yeah, it feels pretty normal now. It's a pretty wild feeling though. But yeah, XTM70. Hopefully it doesn't suck. Thank you, Corsair. Hardware with the Twitch Prime sub come back for 12 months in a row for 28 total. Says, hey, I made it. What's up, Hardware? How you doing, man? Welcome to the return of Thirsty Thursday. Painful Tebity says, sorry, so first stream back and we get the screwdriver feels like a screwdriver and the applicator feels like an applicator. If you expected anything different, anything more in-depth, anything more elaborate, I actually have zero sympathy for you. That's 100% on you, Painful. Okay? Because I think it's important that that the applicator, it did feel like one. It didn't feel like anything else. It actually felt like one. This screwdriver that I'm using right now, it does indeed feel like a screwdriver. So some don't. Okay, so some screwdrivers don't feel like screwdrivers. Wow, this actually feels... It's not bad. Actually, this again, the ratcheting is on point. But yeah, if you expected anything else, that's on you, man. Oh, sorry, Shauner. I missed the 10 biddies. Andy Dalton with 3 interceptions. Saints up 20. Yeah, I got it up here on the projector. I have a 120-inch Thursday Night Football showing right in front of me over here, but I was not watching, so thank you. 3 interceptions. That's not surprising. Andy Dalton sucks. Zach, are you going to buy another review on PC Bros? No. Do you want me to? Should I? No, I don't think so, man. The next thing I buy from PC Bros is going to be something that I want to review on the channel. Like if they release like this is probably what's going to happen. If they, put the camera over here. If they release like a budget laptop on their YouTube channel that I really want to check out and make a video on as well, they're most likely just going to pop that on PC Bros for super cheap. And then I would buy that from them. I'm not just going to buy another video to do a review. I think that might be taking it a little too far. Although that video did perform pretty well. Yes, you do want to see another one? What? Yes? Why would you want to see another one? I'm confused at why you would even want to. Like, what would you be looking to get out of a second video? Billy Boy, first time chatter, says, first stream ever. How's your night? It's going well, man. Thank you for stopping by the live streams. Welcome back. Welcome to the return of Thirsty Thursday. We haven't done one of these in a while. It's a return over here, but it's just a normal first time viewing experience for you. Buy a Starforge system PC. Now, here's the thing. It's because of the whole single dad situation that I didn't buy Starforge. I missed the boat. That one hurts. I would have loved to buy a Starforge PC during the initial like launch hype when Linus bought one, Tech Yes City bought one, and a couple others. Oh, I would have loved that. And I actually watched Asmongold. Not like, don't judge me, but I do watch Asmongold from time to time. And I really wanted to buy one, but like during the beginning stages of the single dad life, I was not up to speed on like literally anything outside of the walls in my house, and I missed the opportunity. I missed the opportunity. Shit, it hurts. I would have loved to make that video. It's too late now. It's too late. You can't make a video like that too late in the game. Something like that, because it's based around so many popular streamers. Like doing it now just looks like kind of desperate. Akira with the tier 1 resub come back for 21 months in a row for 24 total and no message. Thank you very much for the support. Much appreciated. Can you buy a PC from Jawa? That wouldn't make sense. That wouldn't make sense. I have stake in Jawa. Well, you should not watch a review of me. Now, to be fair, I would try to be as fair as possible. But it wouldn't be smart for someone who has actual equity in the company to review something like that. Like, I might as well review my own builds. That doesn't make sense. You shouldn't watch that as consumers should not watch that content. You know what I mean? Don't see a point of a second one from the same vendor. That's how I am. I don't think so either. All right, here we go. We made some good progress here. This is the motherboard with the CPU cooler, RAM, and SSD installed. You can obviously see the color scheme starting to peek through here. That's where we're at. Bada bing, bada boom. Painful Tempity says, you wouldn't be reviewing Jawa, you would be reviewing the seller. Yeah, but I need sellers to do well. It wouldn't be smart. Like, I know that, like, nothing would affect my review. Like, I'm fully confident in that. Like, I wouldn't lie, you know, just because of my position at Jawa. But it just wouldn't be a good look because I've made it public knowledge that I have equity in the company. So, like, it wouldn't even be a good idea. Just because that's readily available information. But like B, it wouldn't be a good idea as a consumer to watch a review of somebody who is that close with the product. You know, Jawa is the product, not like, yeah, it's a marketplace and whatnot. But like, I have stake in the marketplace doing well. It wouldn't benefit me to negatively review a seller, you know. Painful Intensity says, oh, no, I already read that. Oh, no, it was a drink. What did I miss? Hardware the 100 biddies says drink. That's a great idea. I just finished the first one. I'm going to go take a very quick bathroom break and get the second beer. So I will be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I got to pee. Alright, let's go. Let's finish building this. Hardware, this first one's for you. I got you. Thank you again for the 100 biddies. If you guys missed the beginning, this is what we're sipping on. Some Fancy Papers. A hazy IPA from Cigar City Brewing. It's not terrible, but it's not. I wouldn't recommend it. Hardware with the 69 biddies says, glad Thirsty Thursday is back. Let's go. I'm feeling it too, man. I was saying in the intro, like, I wasn't trying to, like, sound like cliche or anything, but, like, I really don't feel that this is, like, a ZTT is back, Zach is back, Zach is streaming, anything like that. I really just feel that, like, we are back. Our conversations are back. us hanging out and drinking beer together is back. Painful's 10 biddies are back. It's just, I'm very happy. I'm very happy that we are back as well. I got my pre-built from a flipper. He sold it for $500, and I love mine. Nice. The newsletter, I don't know how many people here are actively opening the Jawa newsletter, but every Friday, I write the newsletter for Jawa. It's called Zach's Friday Feature. And I just quickly go over a sale posting for like a cool build that I see that recently got posted. The one tomorrow is really, really good. I would open that one up. Let me tell you, the build that I wrote about tomorrow in tomorrow's newsletter for Jawa legitimately gives me inspiration on how to build an aesthetic PC. I'm not trying to sound cocky, but like that's kind of a big deal. Like, I got new ideas from the PC that I'm writing about. It's really, really, really good for a not expensive, super aesthetic PC. It directly gave me some ideas that I'm going to implement in some upcoming videos for sure. So it's really good. If you don't open up too many of your Jawa emails, open up the one tomorrow morning. It's gonna be a good one. All right. So for the power supply, again, we got another 750 GT, fully modular. Bought it off EVGA stock for like $35 or $40. I can't remember. 80 plus gold, tier B. I don't know if I just said that or not, but obnoxious value. That's why I bought 10 of them. And that's why I have so many. I heard those reviews were shady. Yeah, we had a couple people that weren't too happy that I reviewed a ZTT employee, even though I completely divulged that information. Literally the very first sentence, the very, very, very first sentence of the newsletter said, "This may seem like an unfair advantage to some," but I forget what the exact wording was after that, but it was like, "But today I'm reviewing a build from a ZTT employee." The disclaimer was given. It was literally the very first thing. I thought that conversation was pretty funny. Amanda did too. All right, so what do we need? We got the 24. Oops, sorry. We got the 24 pin connected. We need some 6+2 action for VGA. We're gonna need some SATA power. I don't know how the RGBs are powered in the 500 FX, so we have that just in case. And then we'll need some 8-pin CPU action, of course. And that should be it. Hopefully there's no Molex. People always looking for a reason to be annoyed. Yeah, I mean, you just can't get upset about that type of stuff. Like, thankfully, I have the muscle now. Like, I definitely have the internet muscle of realizing that, you know, that's just how things are. You're never gonna please everyone, you know, and people are always going to, you know, find something to be upset about. Exactly. So I didn't know this, but I must have I must have used these extensions on a previous Thirsty Thursday, because as you can see, they are pre-cable combed, which is nice. But I'm not sure if we're gonna have everything we need. So the 24 pin. Oh, let me zoom out. We're still super zoomed in. My bad. Zoom this out a little bit. There we go. Oh yeah. Now you can see the actual desk. Oh yeah. And then, do we have enough? Hopefully I have enough for the custom. I do. Look at that. This is why we buy extra cable combs. Let's go. Cool. Okay, so we can do our custom cable comb job for the graphics card. Oh, well, here's the thing. Do I do the gap or not? Shoot, Painful, I need your actual opinion here. Do I do the... Let's see what it would look like. Let's do a quick test. I'm pretty sure we did this before on the live stream. Let's see if we actually want to do this. So let's plug in this 8-pin right now. Have I made this decision before? So we can either do this. This is what we're debating. Because it's an 8 plus a 6, not an 8 plus an 8. So do I do it like that with a tad bit of a little gap here where my middle finger is? Or do I plug in an 8 and just like hide it like that? Oh, I think I might have to do that. That looks pretty good. Okay, I think I'm going to do the 8. Painful Tebet says 8 plus 8, 100% the way to go. Yeah. But actually, either way, the combs will be 8 wide. Oh, that's true. Okay, yeah, you're right. I think I'm going to do the 8 plus 8 because that looks good. You can't tell. Especially when the cable combs are in there, you can't tell. Okay, yeah, we're good. We're going to go 8 plus 8. Thank you. Painful earlier with 10, but he says, it would be more unfair to not review Sam. That was one of my defense points, too. Sam, the thing that a lot of people probably don't know about Sam, because I hired him before Jawa was a thing, is Sam was a beast of a aesthetic budget PC builder before I hired him. Now, he did say that he watched ZTT, and like when I was looking at his resume, he sent me his Facebook Marketplace profile, and honestly, it was like within 90 seconds of me clicking that link that I made the decision internally to hire him. I don't think he knows that. But as soon as I saw his Facebook Marketplace history, I was like, okay, this guy definitely needs to be on the team. He builds PCs literally exactly how I do. And he said in his interview that, like, yeah, he watched ZTT videos and whatnot, and I could see that he was doing some things exactly how I do it and whatnot. But yeah, it would be extremely unfair of me to not write about an amazing build of his on Jawa just because he's an employee. Like, all of his PC flipping is 100% irrelevant to ZTT. You know, he does all that outside of work, obviously, and yeah, that's how I feel about it too. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do if you guys aren't tracking this. So we're gonna do 8 plus 8 power connectors going to the graphics card, and instead of doing separate 4-pin or 8-pin cable combs here and here, we're just going to custom cut the 24-pin ones down to 8 plus 8. So I just need to make sure that we have 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we're just going to cut the remainder off. And then boom, we have a custom 16-pin cable comb. And we're going to do that 3 times. I'm sure most of you have seen me do this before. Boom. There we go. And now I believe those pins were at the bottom. Yeah. The bottom. And then we're just going to cable comb those together. And everything else is already cable comb, which is awesome. Zach, I've been trying to find where to buy a pre-built that isn't expensive, but I don't trust myself building a PC. Well, the #1 spot would be waiting for a ZTT website launch. Let's just be honest. However, you got to get a little lucky because they sell out very quickly. The next launch isn't until Black Friday. So if you're trying to get one before that, then Jawa would obviously be your #1 spot for that. Jawa has a ton of renowned PC builders on there. You know, just do your research on the seller, on the build, on the parts list. You know, there's some really good builds that sit on Java. But I have been noticing actually that like Java is moving PCs, man. Like when I first like jumped onto the Java train, I was kind of concerned. I'm not gonna lie. I even told Amanda this. Like there were too many when I first started working with Java. There were too many builds that were extremely valuable and competitive priced that were sitting on the market, and I was like, this doesn't make sense. Like these builds should have sold. But that was obviously just, you know, lack of awareness, lack of users and whatnot, because Java was just starting up, and that is no longer the case. Like the good builds, they sell very quickly. Now, of course, there are going to be times where like you're not going to sell right away, but like from what I've seen, because I look at the PC builds every single week, it's pretty fair of what's selling right now and what's not. Like you get really good feedback on Java because the actual good builds, they do sell. They do sell really quickly. The builds that I featured in the last like 6 or 7 weeks of my newsletter have sold either before I post it or within a few hours of the newsletter going live. Like they're selling very, very quickly. Will Java ever expand internationally? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. It's a good question. I know a lot of people are interested in it. It is not an easy game to jump into, though. You know, there's so much growth potential for Java, just even in the States right now. Like, there's so many other things to concentrate on before that's the next thing to do. You know, so I don't know. I don't know. What's up, Out West? Welcome to Thirsty Thursday, man. Captain says, I didn't get the memo. What memo? I got the circuit boarded collab PC. I'm pretty unimpressed. Okay, now I'm in an awkward spot. Okay. This is what I'm feeling right now is 100% what I was trying to explain earlier. As someone who has a stake in Java, I want them to do well. TikTok influencing is a very, very different game than established YouTuber influencing. It's very, very different. That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say about that. Skills over 10, but he says, question, how do I use ARGB fans with my Tomahawk Max Mobo? Only has... oh, so you need 4-pin? The Tomahawk only has 3-pin? Or, sorry, scratch that. The Tomahawk only has 4-pin. You have 3-pin ARGB? Is that what you're saying? Is that right? Is that right? If that is right, I've used so many Tomahawks, so I'm surprising myself that I don't know. But this is what you need right here. If you ever have a motherboard that is not compatible with ARGB, this is what you need. I buy them from this brand called XMSJSIY. No idea how to say that. It's obviously a off-brand knockoff. No clue. But this is a really, really good product for that whenever you run into that issue. Here's what it is. It's super simple. It's got a SATA power to power it up. The other end is 3-pin ARGB. So if you have ARGB fans or ARGB products in your case, but your motherboard does not support 3-pin ARGB, you have nowhere to plug in that cable. You plug it into this, and then in the middle here is just an RGB selector. You got mode, speed, and color. So this gives you pretty good control. Obviously, you're not getting like IQ level of control of your RGBs here, but this gives you pretty good control of your RGB products. if your motherboard does not support 3-pin ARGB. This is a great product. I bought like 8 of these now. I always keep them both at the studio and here for Thirsty Thursdays in case if I ever run into that issue, because that happens to me all the time. Because unlike most people who are buying a PC every like 3 or 4 years, they usually are, or definitely should be, meticulously planning every single little aspect of their build. You know, you should know before you buy it if your motherboard has the right ARGB pins or not. That doesn't happen for me because I mentally spend like 7 minutes planning these Thirsty Thursday builds. So I miss stuff like that all the time. That's why I buy so many of those, just because if I end up having a motherboard that doesn't support it, I got that product ready to go. Highly recommend it. I use the exact same thing. How much did you pay for it though? Because that one is different brand. It's $7. Yeah, it's $7. $7 or $8. Quick question: is a 1063 gigabyte i5 4590 gaming PC worth the $350? No, you can do better. You can do better. Like, I don't fault a seller for selling that. Like, it's not terrible. But if you have $350 to spend, you can do better. But it's not like awful. It's not super awful. Like, if you live in like a small town and you want to buy something local and that's the only thing that's available, like, you're not gonna like regret that, you know. But you can do better. You can do better. What's up, Demon Man? How you doing, man? Demon Man with the tier 1 resale coming for 26 months in a row says, "Sup, nerds? Been a hot minute." It's been a hot minute for all of us, man. Welcome back to Thirsty Thursday. Okay, power supply's prepped. Almost, actually. I never plugged in these extensions. Motherboard is prepped. Now we can finally get to the case. I love my Netgear Nighthawk mesh system. Wi-Fi 6 rocks. You know, the Netgear Nighthawk series of routers has a special place in my heart because that was one of my first successful videos. I reviewed a Netgear Nighthawk. It was like my single-digit videos, like maybe my 5th or 6th video on YouTube. I forget. You can watch the video now. I never deleted it. It was one of my first, at the time, successful videos. So, I'll never forget the Nighthawk. Thank you, Painful. I meant to check that because these were pre-cable come. Thank you very much. Let's make sure. Oh no, they're good. They're good. Those 24s are good. Those are good. I did mean to check it though. I forgot. No, they're good. They're all good. He says the 24 cable comes are backwards, but they're not. I got a fan hub for 4 and 3-pin fans, and it only has 4 pins in the thing. Can I plug a 3-pin fan into that? Yep. Yeah, you're good to go. You guys in the US are lucky to get cheap parts. In Canada, everything is expensive. That's just not the case, man. That's not the case. Some countries on a macro level have unarguably lower averages in prices, for sure. But you can 100% find really, really good deals in Canada, I promise. Okay? You can't just... Don't like artificially limit your mindset because you live in Canada. Like, there are Canadian YouTubers who part out very, very cheap, high price to performance value builds. It's 100% possible. Don't just like throw up your hands and be like, oh, I live in Canada, I can't get as good of deals. Like, you can. You can. Painful Tempity says, my brain bent the cable wrong, I guess. Yeah, I don't know what you were doing. Demon with the Fitted Bitty says, thank you for joining the Fitted Bitty committee, by the way. Says, I'm looking at an HP OEM 4600G build for $200, and there's a Dell 1660 Super little card local for $100. Yeah, that's nice. I just bought an OEM last night. I get super excited, man. Every time that like I get the itch to buy an OEM PC and make a video on it, like it progresses a generation, or at least like a little bit of jump in performance. And I bought an $86 OEM, and it is by far the best sub $100 OEM that I've ever purchased before. So I'm really excited about making that video. Really excited. Painful the 10, but he says, Canada can have crazy good deals. Look at some of the PCs I built. Just got to know where to look. Exactly. Like, I don't like when people say that, especially about Canada. Like, if you want to throw up your hands because you live in like a third world country and you want to complain about PC parts, go ahead. Like, that's probably valid. But in somewhere like Canada, like, there's definitely good deals to be had, man. And I don't like comments like this from Horace either. He says, I'm going to build this PC, but he says, in the UK, a GT 1030 is still over $120 new. I can literally go to Amazon right now and find you a GT 1030 here in the States that costs over $120. I promise. Like, bad deals exist everywhere. Like, that doesn't mean that people aren't selling better cards for lower prices. I guarantee in the UK, you can find a 1050, just a slight bump up from the 1030 for less than 120. I'm 100% sure. Like, they're out there. Those deals are out there. You can't just take like a couple bad deals that you found and say, oh, this is the price of in UK. Like, I hate comments like that. Anyway, all right, here we go. This is the Be Quiet Purebase 500 FX. So the newer FX style of the Purebase 500 comes pre-installed with 4 RGB fans. And huge shout out to Be Quiet for sending this out to us. And of course, because it's Be Quiet, it's got the nice sound dampening material on the back and probably a couple other places. And oh my goodness, that is a really, really nice start. Oh my God. That is a really, really nice start to the cable management. Oh my goodness, that might be the best I've ever seen before. For so many cables. That's nice. That's really nice. So, like, obviously some cases that don't have RGB fans and whatnot, it's going to look cleaner. But for having 4 installed fans with both ARGB and PWM connectors on them, like, this is a lot of cables here. They pre-routed this really nice. That's actually a really solid start. And if anyone's wondering, it does have the built-in hub does have 2 extra slots for both PWM and 3-pin ARGB. So if you wanted to add a CPU cooler that had an ARGB fan on here, you would very easily be able to tie that into it. That way you can control the whole thing. Now, the one thing I do want to see is, can I control this via... Yeah, I see some SATA. Oh, it's got USB C on there. It does have a 3-pin ARGB connector if you wanted to plug it into the motherboard, but I see a SATA power switch. So hopefully there's an LED button up here, which there is. So that's what we're going to do because it's Thirsty Thursday. If you were going to build this PC for yourself, you probably want to plug in the 3-pin ARGB to your motherboard. That way you get full RGB control. But for Thirsty Thursday, since I don't do that, I want to see what the colors look like right away. So we're just going to be plugging this into SATA power and then just cycling through the colors with the RGB button on the case. But yeah, that's that. That's a really, really impressive start to the Purebase 500 FX. What do you think of the new Intel 13th Gen CPUs? I've heard conflicting reports so far. I have not had a chance to do my homework today about it. But I see a lot of thumbnails saying how it's like stomping AMD. Someone can feel free to explain this to me because I just haven't had the time today to watch it. But then I've heard some people say that it's just a Intel 12th gen, but it uses more power. And then I've also heard that the i5, i7, and i9s are different chips, but the i3 is just a rebadge. I don't know. I have not done my research yet. I don't know. I don't have an opinion on 13th gen. So if someone wants to give a quick recap, I'm all ears. Yes, I did see that most of them have more cores. I don't know if we know yet if the i3s will have more cores. That's what I care about the most. But yeah, I did see the higher end ones have more cores, which is great. Better but horribly inefficient. But like, who cares? The whole I've said this for so long. I've been saying this since before I had a YouTube channel. The whole power efficiency thing is like so overrated. Who cares? Like, if you are the type of person where you're always consciously, for the environment or whatever your motivation is, trying to save every watt possible, then like have at it. Like, I have no disagreement with that. If that's what you want to do, that's perfectly fine. You know, I'm not debating that. But for, I would say, more consumers on average, saving wattage coming from the wall does not matter. And as long as you make your initial power supply purchase that has enough wattage, then who cares how efficient it is? You know? Like, I've always thought that was a super overrated thing. Like, I get that there's going to be some years, or some generations, I should say, no matter what it is, like CPUs, GPUs, or whatever, there's going to be some years where there's not actual improvement. It's just unlocking more power delivery, essentially. Like, they allow more power in, so of course it's going to perform better, you know? Sounds like maybe that's where 13th gen is kind of heading, although there are more cores, so maybe not. But yeah, I think people like really overrate that whole thing. Like, give my PC as much power as it can handle without blowing up. That's fine. I don't care. Facts. I bought a Corsair 1600 watt power supply back in 2018. I'm still using it today. You do that one time, you don't care about how efficient it is. I'd rather use the power, right? Cooling is certainly going to come into play. Yeah, for sure. Cooling, obviously, you know, you give it more wattage. That heat has to go somewhere. But I mean, yeah, that comes with the territory. You know, no matter what you buy, you got to cool it as well. That's just part of it. Okay, like what I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, people aren't buying high-end hardware, so they have the ability to use cheaper cooling components. Like, nobody does that. Nobody is buying higher end hardware so they can use lower wattage power supplies. Like, no, if you buy higher end hardware, whether it needs it or not, you're going to be pairing it with higher end hardware. You know, like, it's just, I don't know. I don't really get it. But yeah, I do. The one thing that I have found interesting from my very quick research and from Ryzen 7000 series launch as well is the 5800 X3D is getting so much mind share and camera time that, like, if that continues to drop down in price a little bit, oh my god. Like, I think most of us completely wrote off that CPU, but everyone keeps bringing up the 5800 X3D just in terms of price to performance, because you can go back to AM4, DDR4, you know, you can save money and still get really, really good performance. So I have found it very interesting how much the 5800 X3D is coming, like, it's like reviving itself, right? Yeah, the 5800 X3D makes Ryzen 7 look bad. It's so interesting. Like, that is very fascinating to me, because I completely wrote off a CPU like that, like, right from the jump. Like, how many people is that really going to interest? But now, yeah, we're seeing it more and more. Let me turn up the brightness in here. We got an all black PC down here. There we go. All right, these standoffs are not. There we go. Okay. When I've watched your videos, you make my day. Thanks for saying that, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for watching them. According to Hardware Unboxed, 13900K thermal throttles on a 360mm AIO after 17 seconds. So, before anyone says anything, and before anyone clips what I just said, I have no idea if that's actually true or not. I'm just going off of what Doug, the gamer dad, said. Oh, Doug, please send me a DM, dude. Send me a DM, like right now on Discord. I keep forgetting what your name is because you're not like super active in Discord, but I really want to talk to you. And I know you sent me a message a while ago and I never responded to it, but I have gone back to look through my DMs and I can never be like, what is his name again? Please send me a DM. I really want to talk to you. Anyway, sorry. If that's true, then you can throw everything I said out the window, because if it uses so much power that it's virtually, or if it's practically impossible to actually keep it cool, then I don't agree with what I said. If it's actually thermal throttling on a 360 AIO, I don't even care which 360 AIO it is, after 17 seconds, that is actually a different story than what I was just saying. So if that's true, I would retract on what I said, if it's that bad. I didn't think that they would make a product like that, to be honest. If that's true, then yeah, that's pretty wild. That's really wild. Painful Intensity says, side note on the RGB adapter you have, you can get hubs that take RGB and run it to your USB motherboard header as well if you want more control. Also hubs that go to reset button. How would you control speed and mode with just the reset button? Would it just, is it smart enough to cycle through everything? And do you lose any functionality if you go to USB 2.0? Thermal throttle in all core synthetic benchmark, not in gaming. Well, that is way different. Yeah, so is it thermal throttling in, hold on, sorry. Is it thermal throttling with a 360 AIO in like normal people day-to-day tasks like gaming? That would be, yeah, that would be the question. Just RGB hub. Demon Mid says 13900K is a 300 watt all core load CPU. It's spicy. Nighthawk, welcome to Thirsty Thursday, man. Thanks for stopping by. What screwdriver is that? Really? It's funny that you missed the whole conversation because I talked about this for a solid 10 minutes. But do you not know what this is? I feel like this is a very recognizable screwdriver at this point. Yeah, Mark already said it. This is the LTT screwdriver. I did not pay for it though, just for the record. I wanted it. To be fair, I really wanted it. But I stopped myself from spending $70 on a screwdriver. Yeah, and Angel over on YouTube, yeah. It doesn't thermal throttle in normal tasks? Okay, well yeah, that's what matters. Okay. Painful Tempity says, also for USB header, usually gives a lot more control over RGB settings than the button adapter you have. Yeah, for sure. I definitely sacrifice a lot of control using a RGB connector or a RGB switch like that. But like, there have been like 3 builds in my entire life that I thought looked better with a non-static RGB mode. I always go static. Just one static color I've done in 99% of my builds. So like I personally don't ever, like if I'm doing like a sponsored Corsair build and I have $500 worth of IQ RGB action. You know, I'll give it like a little rain effect maybe. I'll do something with it. But 99 times out of 100, I'm just doing one static color. I'm just going to stick with my newly upgraded Ryzen 5 7600X with RTX 4090 and wait for what the future holds. I don't really need a lot of cores for what I do. I can't tell if that's a troll or not. And that's really humble for a for a 7000 series RTX 4090 build owner. Congrats on the build, though. That was legit. Okay. All right. Let's feed these cables through there. Actually, let's just stand this up. Demon Mint, I'm going to verify what you said because it seems like BS. Hardware Unbox. Demon Mint says, why is that so dark now? Oh, I'm shining the light. I'm blocking the light. I mean, the case is blocking the light. Hardware Unbox used a $180 AIO cooler on the Ryzen system and an $80 AIO on the 13900K. Their data is going to be skewed. I have no idea if that's what happened. It's tough to comment on that one. I'm not going to lie. I typically have trusted the data that Hardware Unbox has presented. Don't really like them as people, though. I think that's public knowledge at this point, though. But I have no idea what happened on that specific testing. I would be surprised if it was that black and white. You know, over the years, Hardware Unbox has definitely gained our trust to like run competitively fair benchmarks. You know, so I don't know. I mean, you might be right. It would be surprising. It would be surprising for me if it was that like black and white. We have fun says I'm waiting forever for my LTT screwdriver. I got all the bits they make for it too. Nice. What's the shipping time on them? I only have the bits that come with the screwdriver. What's the shipping time? Sorry, they used the $180 cooler on a 3000, 5000 system benchmarking. They used an $80 cooler on the... What $80 360 AIO would Hardware Unbox use? That sounds like something like us PC flippers would use. What $80 360 AIO are they using? All right, so I'm just plugging in the random connectors here and there. I don't know if we have a USB-C. I doubt it. Oh, wow, we do. Nice. Okay. We got some USB-C action, so we can take advantage of that. I'm just plugging all these in. It's really hard to film. So I'll try and make this quick. Are you using Intel? Yeah, this is just a 10400F. This is not a 13900K. Oh, I missed Recon Penguin. My bad. Recon Penguin, the Twitch Prime sub, come back for 11 months in a row. Thank you very much. Almost 1 year. Let's go. One more year. You got the full color ZTT badge. Let's go. Thank you. Sorry I missed that. Doug the Gamer Dad says, incorrect, Demon Mitt. They use the Core Liquid S360, not the 360R. 360 costs $240. GG. Now, I don't know if that's true. but that sounds more like it. Despite any personal thoughts, you can objectively say that Hardware Unboxed does not make mistakes like that. They would not be at the position they're in as like a true benchmarking authority in our industry by doing nonsense like that, Demon Mitt. That's why I was also questioning what you said right off the bat. They're too good at their jobs, you know, to do something like that. Okay, all right. All of those cables are installed. The only thing I have left is SATA power and 3-pin ARGB. We're not going to be using the ARGB, but we will be using that SATA power once the power supply goes in. And that is literally what we're going to do now. Stupid missing letters. I misread it. Yeah. You should know better, though. I know that's the like conspiracy theory in you, maybe like the not conspiracy theory, but like the rebel questioning, like people were out to, I don't know how to explain it. I know you're one of those type of people that would think Hardware Unboxed would do that. Oh wait, I'm not supposed to put this in this way. Why didn't somebody stop me? But like someone like me, just call it naive, but like, yeah, you can sniff that out from a mile away that Hardware Unboxed would not do something like that. You know what I mean? No, I don't ever install Windows. The jab, I don't ever install Windows on these live streams. Sorry. So this is one where you put the power supply in through the back of the case, not what I was trying to do. So we're gonna install this real quickly, and then feed it through the back. You were the reason I got cable extensions for my PC. I'm glad to hear that, man. I feel like I'm that for a lot of people. Hopefully no ones that have blown up. Oh wow, that would have been awful if I would have lost that screw. Jeez, that would have been so bad. Yeah, that's awesome. Glad to hear it. What color did you go with? Cable extensions were actually like not that popular. You know, just a few short years ago. If you're still following along what I'm doing here, I'm just installing this bracket from the case onto the, I'm ratcheting the wrong way. Onto the power supply. And then I'll slide it back in there. Painful Tippity says, did you see the issues with the Ryzen 7000 IHS? How AMD just made the IHS thicker to make AM4 coolers compatible with AM5 CPU? No, I am not up to speed on this at all. AMD just made the IHS thicker to make AM4 compatible with AM5 CPUs. Is there a downside to that? Like, are we getting less cooling potential on 7000 series because of that, or does it not have an effect? No, I haven't seen any of that. They just made the IHS thicker. Part of the reason why the CPUs get us. Oh wow, okay, yeah. So, yeah, if it has an effect, then that's a ballsy move. Because I'm sure they could easily test for that. That's a ballsy move to keep AM4 compatibility. Yeah, they could have gotten way better thermals. Okay. No, I didn't see that. How new is that news? I've been staying up to date, I thought. Other than 13th gen, which was what, today or yesterday? No, I'm surprised I haven't seen that, to be honest. Unless if it was a while ago. How new is that information? Well, A, I don't have any opinions on it, if that's what someone was originally asking, because this is my first time hearing about it. For me, it's a good thing. Because I am probably not going to be building any PCs in the near future that would bridge the gap between, like, thermals being an issue versus not. Like, I personally will be reaping the benefits of being able to use AM4 coolers more than the benefit of, you know, a CPU being 5 degrees cooler. You know what I mean? So it's probably still a win-win for me. What are you guys' thoughts on that? A couple of weeks ago? Yeah, so yeah, it was probably during the time phase where I was not up to date on absolutely anything. Yeah, there's like a solid 3 or 4 week stretch there where I didn't watch a single piece of tech news. Sounds like it was exactly in that spot right there. Painful. Oh, sorry, Painful. My bad. Painful's last message says, the Ryzen 7000 IHS is over 2 millimeters thick. Sorry, that message cut off. It's not gonna let me. Oh my god, it's not gonna let me scroll there. Way less cooling potential. He said it saves 21 degrees by D-lit. Oh my god, 21 degrees. Jeez, that's a pretty big difference, obviously. But yeah, I still think it's gonna benefit me more than cooler temperatures. Yeah, wow. No, I never heard that. That's pretty crazy. It came out right after launch. Interesting. That's pretty wild. Has AMD said anything about it? Have they addressed it yet? I almost... Oh my god. Damn it. I should have. I can't. Feel free to not believe me, but I was going to question it, but I didn't. Oh my god. So Doug the Gamer Dad says, are you going to also mention that they used liquid metal after they delitted it? Why are we buying into the thumbnail, the clickbait? Mark, that's not fair of you to say delitting the CPU dropped the temps by 21 degrees. If you're not also mentioning that they switched it to liquid metal. Come on now. Doug the Gamer Dad is on it. If that's true. I don't know if that's true. I'm just taking Doug the Gamer Dad's word. But he was right about the arguing with Demon Mitt, so he might be on a hot streak here. I'm only personally mad because that was my initial thought too, but I didn't say anything. I honestly didn't care. Must hate AMD, Intel on top. I'm waiting for Mark's response. That's funny. That's really funny. Okay, let's go back to our casual TEM 400F build, please. Oh, hold on. Painful at the Tempity says, also, AM5 is only compatible with... We have fun. That's hilarious. Sorry, Painful. We have fun just gifted a tier 1 sub to Doug. This is why I miss Thirsty Thursday. Stuff like this. We have fun. Thank you very Get him in the exclusives. Instantly get him back in. Nice job. We have fun. That's pure exclusive classicness right there. Thank you. Welcome back to the exclusives, Doug. Sorry, Painful said 10 biddies. Also, AM5 is only compatible with the AM4 coolers that use the stock backplate. You will save 16 to 18 degrees without liquid metal and 6 to 9 degrees by lapping. I don't know what lapping means. Wow, no, I continue to get the tech YouTuber up to speed, por favor, because I am not up to speed on any of this. No, this was during the peak, well, hopefully the peak difficultiness of the single dad life. Hopefully I don't miss anything more. But yeah, this was definitely all during that time frame. I'm glad that there's finally reasonable competition between AMD CPUs and Intel CPUs. It's not. What are you talking about? I'll take that back. For us budget to mid-range gamers, there is no competition at all. Intel is still dominating. Like, what are you talking about? We haven't had competition in... Remember, I'm only talking about budget to mid-range. We haven't had competition in over a decade. Over a decade, there's been no competition. For many generations, even for budget, Intel dominated. Like, there were a couple people that made cases for, like, the FX AMD CPUs. Nobody believed it. Like, a couple people, they were happy, blah, 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 blah. Intel dominated during the whole point. When Ryzen first launched, Ryzen completely dominated for budget to mid-range. But ever since Ryzen 5000 series, Intel has dominated budget. Intel 10th, 11th, 12th, they've dominated for budget to mid-range. So there hasn't been competition in my book for budget to mid-range. It's always one or the other. What about the 3600 and 3100? Yeah, that was the time period where AMD was dominating. That's what I'm saying. Intel dominated, then AMD dominated, now Intel is dominating again. Like, there's never been actual competition in the budget to mid-range. Again, only budget to mid-range is what I'm talking about. They've flip-flopped. I'm not saying it's been one the whole time, but there's only been one at any given point. I've never actually debated about the two for budget to mid-range. There's always been a dominating choice to go with. Yeah, during the Ryzen 5 2600, 3100, 3300, 3600, the 1600 AF, during those couple of years, yeah, you didn't go anywhere near Intel. Like, nobody was buying i3 8100s. Nobody was buying that. That was pure AMD domination. No competition. And now, AMD doesn't even release budget GPUs. You know, there is no 5100. You know, they're releasing 4100s, which are atrocious products. There's no competition right now. There is no 7100, you know. So, unless if you're talking about high end, for where my audience and where I typically live in the budget to mid-range world, we actually don't have competition. I want a potato with the tier 1 resub. Come back for 2 months. Says, how's it been, man? What's up, man? Welcome back. Thank you very much for the resub. It's been good, man. I've really missed this. I've really missed going back and forth about PC hardware and building and getting cable extensions stuck in some type of connector that I probably just meant the pins for. This is fun, man. Thank you very much for the support. I am missing a battle between Mark and Doug, it looks like, but I think I'm too far behind to get caught back up on that. Even with the cost of motherboards, would you still recommend the 12400F or the yeah, 100%. Now, I'll be fair. You could... It was a little less dominant when 12th gen was brand new. When 12th gen was brand new, and you were realistically only buying... $180 motherboard. It was tough. It was tough. It was tough. But now, like, the price of like a B660 motherboard, it's close to AM4 pricing, and it's close enough that I wouldn't debate about it. You know, like I'm not buying budget Ryzen stuff anymore. That's new. You know. Everything changes if you find like a used deal, obviously. That all changes, but yeah, the price of B660 and even Z690, those prices are really low. They've come down so much. You can just call me Potato. I made my username years ago. It's I'm a Potato, but the M is a W. I don't know why I did that. All right, Potato. Thank you for the resub. Much appreciated. Alright. So feeding extensions through. Bada bing, bada boom. That's finally done. Let's get our 8-pin CPU extensions up here, and then we'll start plugging everything in. Finally. Sorry. This is taking a while. A lot of conversation today. Thankfully, Antonio is still sleeping. I got the baby monitor right here. I don't think I've actually shown that yet. Baby monitor's right there. Somebody let me know if you hear a crying 3-year-old. I gotta go get him, if that's the case. Alright. And SATA power. We'll plug that in now and get rid of it. That, again, is to control the RGBs. Probably power that RGB fan hub assembly and RGB hub as well. But, yeah, plugging that in, and then we don't need that for now. Sam will need that for benchmarking with our 2.5-inch SSD benchmarking. Or 2.5-inch benchmarking SSDs, but we don't need that for now. All right, here's what we're looking like. So I mentioned this at the beginning, but yeah, we have a slight discrepancy in the colors of red. If you've built PCs before, red is actually really hard to match, just because gaming products produce so many different shades of red across different manufacturers. It's actually it's a really tough color, despite like how popular red and black is. Sorry, I'm gonna have to cover the... Yeah, I know you're not gonna be able to see this. My bad. I gotta get in here and plug this 8-pin in. This is tough with the CPU cooler. Red is a really tough color to accurately match throughout multiple manufacturers and products and whatnot. But I'm hoping with how much red RGB we have in the fans that it will kind of like overpower. But I mean, you can even see it now. Like this, despite them being a little bit different, this still actually looks really clean. Okay, so let's pull these tight. I don't know why this got so jacked up though. I see a real in-depth conversation between you guys, but I feel like I missed too much. Someone want to give me the, not to be selfish, but does someone want to give me the cliff notes of what Doug the Gamer Dad and Mark are debating about? Would be much appreciated. Okay, sorry, I'm just trying to get these cable combs in line here. Okay, almost done. All right, there we go. Okay, that's looking pretty clean. We want to tighten this one a little bit. That looks clean over there. All right, let's start pulling some of these down. I think I'm just going to use the Velcro that they already have here. Just add to it a little bit without hopefully messing up their Be Quiet's very appreciative cable management work. That's good enough for me. Something like that. And then this one can come down here. We'll use a couple zip ties over here to clean that up a little bit. Painful Intensity says they're actually talking about two things. The first is how much of a difference liquid metal makes, and the other thing is that the 13900K is horribly thermal. Okay, yeah. See, none of those things affect me. Thank you, Painful. None of those things affect me or the majority of my audience. I love this debate, says Scarface. Should I be paying attention? Am I missing out on some classic entertainment? Should we just bring in Mark and Doug the Gamer Dad into the stream? Should we get some... Twitch keeps telling me that there's a cool feature that you can bring in special guests. feel like now would be a perfect time for that. Okay, here we go. All right, I don't really care about that. Okay, all right, we're actually pretty close to being done here. That's what we're looking like. Ooh, that's looking nice. That's looking nice and clean. All right, let's get this graphics card in there. That's what it's gonna look like, just like that. Not too bad, not too shabby. Just scored a 1080 Ti from a friend who used to mine crypto. It's only a year and a half. What CPU should I pair this with? That's a good question. I mean, if you're just looking to build a good, valuable 1080 Ti used system, I wouldn't specifically target anything. You know, you got to see what deals are available, you know. But for 1080 Ti, I mean, if you want to go a little bit more modern, like something like a, honestly, like a 10th gen i5, somewhere around there would be okay. But it depends on what you're trying to do with it. I would just see what the market gives you, you know. I don't ever limit myself. Like, I don't ever get one GPU and be like, oh, I need this CPU to pair with it. You know, something along a little bit more modern i5, or Ryzen 5, you know. Zach set them up for a debate. Kale says, looking good. Sorry, I'm more of a lurker tonight. Multitasking, no problem at all, man. If you want to keep Thirsty Thursday up on your second monitor while you're working away, feel free. Oh, Doug the Gamer Dad with 10 biddies, so he wants me to read this one. All right. Yeah. I'm not going to lie. The conversation's getting a little exhausting about the 1300K because, A, I don't care. But he says, yes, the 13900K thermal throttled after 17 seconds under a synthetic workload with a 360mm AIO. You might think it makes sense to dismiss this due to it being synthetic, but the 12900K took over 6 minutes to thermal throttle with the same setup and the same test. Clearly, the 13900K is a runaway on thermals. Okay, that's valid. Maybe I led off with the impression that I was just saying like synthetic doesn't matter. Yeah, of course, it certainly matters. This entire conversation does not matter to someone like me because I don't use 13900Ks and I don't sell 13900Ks. But yeah, I mean that is a crazy difference in timing for when those two chips thermal throttle. I mean that's objective, you know. I don't know if there's a debate about that still going on. Is the debate how significant that is? Because I wouldn't even know the answer to that. Zach, I drove up your way for the $700 build about 2 years ago to start my photo and video editing business. It had a 1660 Ti and some other lower-end CPU. It's now rocking a 3090 and a 5900X. Thanks for getting me into PCs. That's awesome, man. That's what's up. What did you do with those extra parts? If you ever upgrade the parts, remember, I'll buy them back for you if you give me a good price. But that's awesome, man. Where did you drive up from? When I was selling all my builds locally before I had my website, it was wild. Like, I kept scheduling every single local PC that I sold here in Pittsburgh. CPS can attest to this. I don't even know who he is. But they bought the PC at Rite Aid. We went to the same Rite Aid. I sold every single PC at the exact same Rite Aid. Every single one of them. But yeah, I would have people say that like they came from like West Virginia. People came from Ohio. I had no idea. I was like, I'm driving a couple minutes down the road. People are coming from all over the place for that. That's wild. Don't forget to drink water. Yeah, that's a really good point. I got you. Thank you. We humans cannot really multitask, and it's been proven scientifically. P.S. You cannot do two things at once, period. I mean, that's a very dumb thing to say. We can multitask. I get that there's studies that show for productivity in the work environment that multitasking is less efficient than single tasking, which is why in my office I have a single monitor. I'm a full believer in that. But the sentence, "you cannot do two things at once, period," is very, very wrong. I can look at the camera and talk and breathe at the same time. No problem. You can't say an obnoxious sentence like that. We can multitask. We are capable of multitasking. Shauna says, "I sell 95% of my local PCs at the same grocery store." Nice. I love. I kind of missed that time period of when I would. I mean, there's a lot of reasons that I don't miss it, but I do kind of miss the time period of just, you know, driving down to Rite Aid, coming back with a stack of 20s. Very few buyers actually bothered to get me hundreds to make things easier. Everyone was giving me stacks of 20s. You know, and coming home with that and just feeling accomplished. It was much more satisfying seeing the person and talking with them about who was buying my build compared to like just seeing the number on the website. It was way more satisfying. And speaking of satisfying, oh my god. Whew! Damn. Dude, that looks nice. That looks really nice. Check that out. That's very satisfying. Let's go. All right. What do you guys think? Does that look good? Is that a good classic red and black build to come back to for Thirsty Thursday? The return of Thirsty Thursday, coming in hot with the black and red. Gaming PC with the red extensions. RGBs. It's classic. Classic recipe there. Painful Timothy says, "So actually multitasking by definition is a myth, according to my nursing schooling. They say if you are wanting to be more accurate, it's advanced task switching. But I still call it yeah. I've never heard that, but I would believe that there's really, really smart people out there that say that. You know, whatever. I would debate it though. Like, I can confidently say that when I'm drinking this water and I'm looking at something, I'm looking at the camera and drinking this water. That's not task switching. I'm physically doing both of those two things at the same time. I wouldn't say that's switching. Painful says those reds look pretty good on camera. Yeah, they do. I mean, they weren't terribly off. You can see it more actually right here. It's just the red on the RAM is a little bit... Wow, that's still really... Sorry, the lighting is not good. Let's come over here. There we go. It doesn't look terrible. Yeah, it's a tad bit off. Not awful. Shauna Timbity says, "Can you multitask talking to chat and making a basketball shot?" Yeah. Dude, I can make a basketball shot and do like 30 different things at the same time. Let's see if the basketball camera's still working. Oh, let's go. Wow, it's still in frame and oh. Wow, I forgot I added a significant obstacle in this. Since the last Thirsty Thursday, I ceiling mounted these two. Nobody commented on this, by the way. I actually thought you guys would notice this. The lighting. Get this PC out of the way. Nobody cares about this. People are here to see lighting. The lighting on this wall is so much better than it used to be because it's coming from the top and it creates shadows on the underneath side of all this texture designs. How good does that look? Nobody said anything. Nobody cares. It looks so much better. I just beefed up the ISO, so it's like, that's why my forehead is blown out, but it looks so much better. Nobody said anything. Anyway, Yeah, I did that. And then also nobody said anything about this either. Check this out. Nobody said a damn thing. No, I mean, nobody complained about a wobbling desk. Bruh. This is a brand new standing desk right here. It's actually the same tabletop that I was using, but I finally installed the motorized standing legs. So it's like really, really stable. Nobody said anything. You guys suck. Come on. You guys complained every 6 minutes that my desk was wobbly. In the first stream that I fixed it, nobody said anything. That hurts. That hurts. That took me an hour to do. It took me at least an hour to build that. Partially because Antonio was helping me though. Pull up for the basketball shot. Let's finish the PC build first. Let's get this back up here. But yeah, the desk is super stable now. I was really happy with myself. I thought you guys would be excited. I thought people like Painful would have been, or no, not Painful. I feel like people like Mark would have said something. Mark calls out if I have one more eyelash on one side than the other. I thought Mark would have said something about my new stable desk. That kind of hurts, you know? All right. Let's power this up. Give it to me. It looks really good, and it's even orange. This, ladies and gentlemen, is why I don't like the graphics card. I said this at the very beginning. I said it right at the very beginning. It was one of the first things I said when I was introducing the parts. The graphics card is not as good as people thinks it is. The desk is wobbly. Someone ban our danger, please. Look, you're gonna really notice it once I switch this to red. Dude, this case is... Oh my god, that's beautiful. Look, this is... Oh, I thought that was red. Damn it. It was red for a second. Give me solid red, por favor. There we go. Is that it? Look at the GPU. Everything looks amazing. That looks really, really cool. Look at the GPU being orange, though. It's not red. It's not red. That's what's annoying. That's the one thing I don't like about the red devil. It's orange devil. That's the one thing I don't really like about it. But yeah, I mean, I knew ahead of time what the case was going to look like, but in person and on this camera, oh my god. That looks amazing. That looks really, really good. Wow, I kind of blown away by that, honestly. I want to use it again, like right now. That's awesome. But yeah, this is the whole build, ladies and gentlemen. This is literally exactly why I was trying to get rid of this graphics card, because it's really, really difficult. Even though people think it's a good looking graphics card, it's really, really hard to use, because of that shade is just orange. So annoying. But yeah, this is the $750-ish build. I will be selling this over on the ZTT website. We're probably going to sell it for like $700 or something less than what the parts cost. It'll be a really good build for somebody. 10400F 6600 XT. You know, it'll be really good value. But yeah, this actually looks really, 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 really nice. Other than that GPU color. But yeah, really impressed by all of this. That's awesome, man. The back fan looks orange. That's the camera. That's always the camera. It's really, really difficult to capture on camera the difference of color of RGB products when one has a grill or glass or anything in front of it versus one that's exposed. Like when I'm looking at it from this angle, they are literally the exact same. It's always weird on camera because it's the same product, you know. It's the same product, but on camera, it always looks a little weird. That's not unique to this situation. But yeah, you're right. Like I'm looking at it on camera, it does look a little bit orange, but not in real life. This looks solid. I mean, it looks good. Like someone's definitely gonna like this. But I'm all about the details, and the red devil is unfortunately the orange devil. But more important than that, let's get to the basketball shot here. Where's my prediction results at? Managed prediction. Basketball shot. Will he make it? Oh, wow, 50-50. 52% on air, 48% on net. We got two 10K ballers over here. Stango with the 10K channel points says I'm going to whiff. And over on the supporting side, King Lars with the 10K channel points saying I'm going to drain it. All right. I got you. This one, we're going to dedicate this one to Stango because we're going to take 10K channel points right from him. Here we go. Although, yeah, back to the conversation here. How am I going to shoot the basketball and not hit? I don't know if you can tell from the angle of this, but this is the light right here. And if I'm going to go directly across. Watch. It's the basketball hoop. Like, it's directly in line. I don't know if the camera can pick up from that weird angle, but this is not this is not a fair shot. I might have to bounce it off the light, to be honest. That prediction is old. Oh, Shauner did a poll. Got it. Where's my poll? Manage poll. There we go. Does Max Zach... Oh, my God. I'm wasted. Does Zach make his first shot in 3 years? 57% on easy bucket. 43% on no chance. Got it. Got it. Got it. There we go. Okay, well, that's no problem. I got it. 57%. 50%. 57% of you are spot on. That... It hit the light. That... We're gonna have to figure something out. It hit the light before it hit the backboard. That... Scratch that one. We'll figure that out in an upcoming live stream. That's bogus. Don't worry about that. All right. But yeah, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's Thirsty Thursday. Thank you very much for tuning in. Zach, what is the best mid-range CPU and GPU combo right now? Looking to build for a friend? I have no idea what you mean by mid-range. I have no idea. That's tough. That's really tough. $300 for a Vision 3060, too high for you? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that is a good deal for the price of Vision 3060s. But it's just, it's the Hellhound Spectra White 6600, 6650 XT. It just trumps it. It just trumps it. The Vision card, it looks good. And if you are like an NVIDIA fanboy and that's all you want to use, then that's your best option for like a mid-range white GPU. But if you want pure value, price to performance, then the Spectra Whites 6600 XTs and 6650 XTs are better. Don't leave me, let's chat. Nice to be back, says Kale. Yeah, it's really nice to be back. So one thing else I wanted to show you guys real quickly before we go is... Honestly, I should have used this. This card would have looked so much better in this this PC. This right here, ladies and gentlemen, is... Now, I've actually only looked at this card in person for like 6 seconds. I opened it up and took a real quick photo of it for Twitter, and that was it. But I think this is my... I think... Let's reevaluate right now. I think it's my favorite looking graphics card on the entire planet. I think. Let's check it out. This is the Intel Arc 750. And oh my goodness. Look, the side profile is what does it for me. Oh my goodness. Let's stop over exposing these shots now, because we don't have a... Yeah, we're good. Okay, there we go. Get the baby monitor out of the way. Look at that side profile. That is just obnoxious. That is literally as clean as it does not get cleaner than that. Now, if I was to knock it, I'm not a huge fan of this. So if I was building a white and black gaming PC, or like a mostly black gaming PC with like a couple extra white parts in there, like some black and white cable extensions and whatnot, this would look really good, obviously. But it would throw off some builds because of that design. So it's not a 10 out of 10. But the side profile is an 11 out of 10. I mean, that is so clean. And whatever profile this is, that's like a 9 out of 10. That's so clean. The back plate is but the card looks good. Yeah, that's where I'm at. The back plate is it's crazy that this back plate is weak. Like, this back plate on most cards would make them look better, you know? But on a card that's flirting with 10 out of 10 aesthetics, the back plate is actually the weak point, which is just pretty wild. This is such a nice looking graphics card. Oh my god, I can't wait to make content on this. I'm so excited, but I have no idea what I'm gonna do with it. The first like minute it was on the market, I was like, okay, I'm definitely buying that, but I have zero clue what I'm gonna do with it. I don't know if I'm just gonna make a benchmarking video or just fit it into, you know, a somewhat budget build guide. I actually don't. I did not buy this with a purpose in mind. And the box is actually really clean too. You know, just looks like a typical Intel CPU box, but GPU size. I actually really like it. Pretty happy with it. Hi Zach, what CPU and GPU do you recommend for entry-level video editing? If you're using Premiere, go with Intel. And just buy as many, just buy the best Intel chip that you want to pay for. You know, like there's no like specific sweet spot. Just because Adobe Premiere still utilizes Intel way better than AMD. But if you're using DaVinci, then horsepower is just better, which in most cases, Ryzen and an AMD GPU is going to be better. But on Premiere specifically, I would definitely target an Intel CPU. And then, yeah, just, I have no idea what your budget is, so just as much as you can, as much as you're willing to spend on it. You know what I mean? Yeah, the link in the description is the parts list for this. And then we will be selling this build on Black Friday, just like all the other builds. The PCI ports look weird. PCI ports? What do you mean? On the motherboard? PCI ports? Like the PCIe ports? Slots? What are you talking about? Are you talking about the graphics card? There's no ports on the graphics card that are PCIe. What are you talking about? I don't know what you could even mean when you say PCIe. Oh, yeah, I don't know what you could mean. The power? Maybe he's talking about power. I don't know. Yeah, maybe he's talking about power. Yeah, this was like a well-known thing. I saw people talking about this before the card even launched. The colors of the 8-pin versus the 6-pin are off. Is that what you meant? Yeah. I forget who first covered this, but somebody covered this before the card even launched. I remember seeing like, yeah, that's kind of weird, but you wouldn't notice that. Like, you plug in the connector and that issue is gone. So I don't know why people made a big deal over it. That's not a big deal at all. Yeah, nobody cares about that. It looks weird like right now, but like you can't see what the ports when there's something plugged in, so who cares? You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm gonna wrap up Thirsty Thursday here, guys. I want to clean up the basement, you know, sober up, and just, you know, get everything back to square one down here before. Actually, I should mention to you guys, because I've complained about Antonio sleeping for so long now, that over the last like 3 or 4 weeks, he's been sleeping amazing. He comes and gets me once a night. Sometimes none. Sometimes not at all, which is crazy. It is such a bizarre, like, parents toddler parents will know what I'm talking about if you've had a bad sleeper. It is still such a foreign concept for me when I go to sleep and I just wake up the next day at 7 a.m. It is such a bizarre feeling. It's crazy. Like, actually sleeping through the night these days. Like I'm so confused. Like, when I go to sleep at, like, 11, and then just the next conscious thought is it's 7 a.m., it is so weird. Like, I'm actually, like, lost. But he's been waking me up either once or no times for, like, the past 3 weeks or so. And he's sleeping the best that he's ever slept in his entire life. And just... Thank you, big man. Like... Antonio's been a bad sleeper his entire life. And I cracked the code. Well, him and I cracked the code. And the code was... this mofo just wanted to sleep with the lights on. It's crazy. I'm kind of, like, disappointed in myself that we didn't try that over 3 years. But, like, babies and toddlers don't tell you, I want to sleep with the lights on. I think I'll sleep better with the lights on. They don't tell you that. You have to experiment. And one day, like, now that he can talk and whatnot, he can put together complete sentences and whatnot. He told me that he was scared of shadows and he wanted to sleep with the lights on. Ever since then, he's been sleeping through the night. For 3 years, he wakes up 20 different times in the middle of the night. And now that he just sleeps with, like, I'm not talking about, like, a night light. Like, this dude sleeps with the lights full brightness. He just sleeps all night with the lights on. And now he actually just sleeps all night. It's crazy. It's amazing. So that's been the one really good thing that's happened during the last couple weeks in terms of parenting. But yeah, for those of you that don't care, I'm going to wrap up the Thirsty Thursday live stream. Thank you guys very much for tuning in to the return of Thirsty Thursday. If all goes well, I'm going to try to stream next week. I almost streamed on Tuesday, actually, but I was like, let's not jump ahead of ourselves. Let's just try to get to once a week before we start striving for getting back to twice a week. So, yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this live stream. Again, yeah, we're going to be selling this build on Black Friday. We have hopefully 2 YouTube videos coming out next week, the PC Part Picker Contest video, as well as the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 benchmarking video. And yeah, that should be everything I need to tell you about. Hopefully you guys all have a good rest of your week, a good weekend. I'm going to continue watching the end of this. The Thursday night game is over. But yeah, I'll join you guys over in the Discord server if you guys want to go hang out there for a while. But yeah, hopefully you guys all have a good night, and I'll see you later, guys. See ya.